Welcome everybody to Cup with Gup, PGA final thoughts for the Open, the British Open, however you would like to call it. The final major is here. We are about 16 hours away from lock, which is looks to be about 1:30 Eastern time. Is a early Wednesday morning. Get this out around lunchtime, and then final content a little bit later, and then we'll do E9 tonight with Kenny Kim over in the Gups Corner premium chat channel. If you are a member, if you'd like to become a member, links in the description. You can go check out all the packages up there. Prices were reduced a few months ago. We continue to add and build up the golf tools dashboard, among many other things. Come check us out if you would like. 7-day risk-free trial included as well. Listener League is up. Put it up Monday. It is almost 6,000K pot, largest ever, 1K to first, about 40% full this morning. So hop in there. Let's fill it up. I did mention on Monday, it's the last one I'll be doing this year for sure, maybe ever. We'll kind of reevaluate once we see what the new golf schedule looks like. There's so many of them out there now. I know it gets hard to fill, and on normal weeks, fighting down to the last minute to get all of them filled, and some of the other ones struggle too on normal weeks. Big weeks we tend to fill them pretty well, so maybe I work with DK and go back to, maybe do the big elevated events, major, something like that. I'll think that over in the off season. But this is the last one for this year for sure. Jump in, win you some good money, probably overlay, maybe. So, good. It's flat payout structures already, limited rake already. So hop in. Link is in the description. Final thoughts for me this week. Don't anticipate a lot of changing by tonight, but always, this time of year, I'll build almost all the way up to lock. It'll be 12:30 my time, so not crazy there. Normally watch a little bit, probably take a little nap, sleep, get up again early, and have it on. Watch some later, guys. Remember, daylight over there is 16, 18 hours, something crazy. So, the last groups probably won't get done until... I think they play 12, 14 hours easy. So probably 2 or 3 tomorrow afternoon. So there's still a lot of golf to be played, even if you don't want to stay up all night or you get up early. I like to get up, 3 or 4. Used to just stay up all the way through. Tonight I do just because of locking lineups, stuff like that. Then I kind of go to sleep. Like tomorrow night, I generally just go to sleep normal and wake up super early. I'm normally up by 5 or 6 anyways, but wake up, 3 or 4 and start watching it. And then for sure on the weekend, I try to watch as much of it as possible because after the cut, they go out a little later. So it's not as big of a deal. Less people on the course, of course. Weather advantage, I don't see anything pre-cut. Now, it could change by tonight. Obviously, this is one of the tournaments. You want to be prepared, have your lineups made, everything done, and then ready to pivot if something comes up. But pre-cut, the good thing is there are some pretty decent winds. They're just all consistent, and there's no rain in the forecast Thursday, Friday. It's been soft. It's as soft as 2014 if you believe all the guys out there, which that's who I'm more listening to this week than other podcasts and stuff. The pressers, there's a ton of pressers on go to the Open YouTube, stuff like that if you missed them. And Michael Kim, obviously people have mentioned him. He's a great follow right now. Maybe even softer than 2014. This is going to play nothing like 06, so I wouldn't put too much into that. Saturday looks like it could wreak havoc. That's really what I want to look at. And some people are like, why does that matter? It's post-cut. Really, it matters because how do I see the tournament playing out? Because there are certain guys I move around based upon that. If, we'll forget the Brooks is paired with Cantley deal. I don't know if that's as big of a deal as what, it could be. But I would downgrade him if I just see it's going to be even easier on the weekend. These guys can get out to 18, 19 under. I don't think that's the type of tournament Brooks excels in. Now, we are 11, 12 under. Maybe it's 9 or 10 under come Friday night, after round 2, but Saturday knocks everybody down. It's going to wreak havoc. Your leaders are still around 7, 8, 9 under going into Sunday, and you're talking about 11, 12 type under, 13 under tournament. I like guys like Brooks like that. I think he wants it to be a difficult challenge. I think it's going to be in general. We can't just spray it all over per se, and he's not the only one. That's just a reason why I want to see how the weekend plays. Because if I'm thinking closer to 17, 18, 19 under versus 11, 12 under, it just changed my strategy of building in general because finishing position points also matter. You get 11, 12, 13 under winner, you're probably still getting like a minus, 2, 3, 4 in the top 20. You know, all those guys are going to be scoring a ton. So the finish position points do matter a little bit more. You know, those kind of things all factor in. I'm not going to really be waiting around for a wave advantage. I just don't see one right now. And I don't even see one that remotely looks close to where we may be on the, you know, dividing line of it. Now, if you naturally want to try to play a AM, PM, PMA or mix it up, that's fine. You can always do that. For me, I'm just going to put my best pool together and run with it. Trending to be the highest owned today, this morning, Rory Scheffler, pretty close right now. Probably right up there in the top 4 for both of them. Could see someone like Fleetwood Hatton, you know, go up above them a little bit. Maybe we'll kind of see how the day plays along. Fleetwood and Hatton is the next. Fowler, Morikawa, Connors, Bobby Mack, and Victor Hovland round up kind of some of those all trending to be 14, 15% or more right now. Potential sleepers or low owned, Cantley. I mean, I think people are just maybe finally out on him. I'm interested to kind of still got a lot to catch up today, you know, listening, diving in before getting the final rankings out. But him and Xander seem to maybe finally people are off. And with the way pricing is and mentality and people wanting to get Scheffler, Rory, and then even Rahm, I think some of that middle high 9, low 10 range, which normally we're talking about very few people. And I mentioned on Monday on that pod again, 7 in the 10K range, 5 in the 9K range. We're used to like 7 or 8 in those two range. Or no, I'm sorry. That's just the 9,500. So 10 in the 9K range, 7 in the 10K. So 17 guys, 9,000 or above. We're used to maybe 9, 10, 11. You know, when we get 5 and then, you know, 6, 7, 8, you know, something like that. So significant more. 8K range much shorter than normal, 10. 7K range much shorter than normal, 30. You can go back and listen to Smash if you want details on all this like I do each week. 6K range or 6,900 and below, there's 99 guys, but this week, obviously, if you missed any podcast this week, 52 of them are in the 5,500 to 6K range, which we haven't seen outside of like the FedEx Cup Championship and then very early in the DK days, 2015, 2016. So because of that, some of the spots where people are running to move around, plus just not feeling comfortable with guys, you're going to get some low-owned guys that, you know, you want to take a chance on them. Cantley's one that I have my eye on. I like him a little bit more than Xander overall, mainly just because of the pure driving stats and, you know, accurate, long but not long, you know, not super long, but long enough with the accuracy. Day is a guy that's kind of moved up. He's probably going to be 3-4%. I haven't heard much a Day. I'm not like all in on that, but you know, $700-800, 3% Jason Day in an open. At least thinking about it. Neiman, which we knew that those kind of guys are always going to be a little lower than what they would be if you're seeing them each and every week. Straka, I mentioned him on the Smash Factor. Still liking him. Don't hate him at all. I got him in that 4, 5, maybe 6% range. Then DJ, simply because right now I got him 9 to 11%, maybe 12%. I like him anyways, but I certainly think that's lower owned than what he should be, all things given. We'll see how that works out. Guys that have moved up for me, Cam Young, I had him as MME play, certainly flirting with the 3 max play for me right now. You know, 9,000, which, you know, that's what, 3,500 cheaper than Scheffler. Deservingly so. I'm not saying he should be up there. Showing some form recently, you know, 5-6% for him. I just like that. Brooks, I mentioned, moving up for me. Again, I'm going with a 12 to 14 under type winning score right now. I like that. I don't think that Cantley, I would say he can control himself and pace himself better playing with Cantley if we think Cantley's that horrible, slow, versus being the hole behind him and never knowing the pace, right? So I'm not factoring too much. And maybe he just wants to stomp Cantley just because he's so frustrated with, you know, and he just focus and going. I like this presser. I'm not moving off of him at all. And I'm looking at 12 to 14% right now. So I like Brooks. Finau's moving up. I'm interested to kind of, I hadn't heard a lot about him. I have him pegged. Is he one of those guys that moves up late because everybody thinks he's finally going to be low owned? His history at the Open's great. And I really like that. Even in some years where he hadn't been great coming in, and he's not right now. So the form's really the issue. But at 8,200, if he starts steaming up 15, 16%, probably not. But if I can get him 10%, 11%, you know, maybe he's kind of in that maybe window for me, but moved up. It wasn't really on my radar at all, but I hadn't heard him a whole lot this week about him. So I like that. And then JT, you know, we'll see how much he gets steamed up at the end of it. People went there last week, still didn't pay off. 8,600. What's he going to be? 5%? Do we take a chance? Definitely could excel here. Will at least move into my MME pool consideration where I wasn't thinking about him much Monday. Fade moved down. I think I'm going to have to make a decision between Rory or Rahm. I have some things to look at. I may just try to get all of Scheffler, Rory, Rahm, and then make some big cuts elsewhere. Rory was a guy I was leaning towards kind of being light on in general, but if we do think it's going to be soft and it starts raining, on Saturday, now I want to factor in the wind there. Can it set up perfect for him? But what's the ownership going to be? I don't want, maybe I go way overweight on Scheffler, even Rory, Rahm, and then I start making some cuts. So the next guy that fade moved down for me, Fleetwood Hatton. Like, I don't want a lot of all four of those guys. So I'm going to cut one or two there as we get through tonight. But then there's guys I feel good about cutting. Morikawa, I'm fine. If he beats me, he beats me. Lowry, probably getting steamed deservingly so. I get it. I just hadn't seen enough out of him to – if he was going to be low owned, yes, but he's going to be, in that range, 10, 11, 12%. There's going to be a lot of those guys. So for me, it's going to be cutting out the ones that I don't feel as comfortable with so I can get overweight on the ones I want and tighten up that pool a little bit. Leverage plays, these are pretty clear this week. If you want to go there, you're going to have all the leverage in the world. Cam Smith, and these are kind of the guys up top. Fitzpatrick and Spieth. I could see Spieth still getting a little bit of a bump because he generally does. But probably some of the lowest ownership we'll see on him at an Open. Then Fitz and Cam Smith will definitely be some low-owned leverage if you want to take it. 8K range, JT and Sungjae will be good leverage plays if you want to. And there's plenty down in the 7K range and below that you can get different on as well. Underdog, price picks, links in the description. Dollar for dollar match up to $100. Use the code GUP. The Pup Cup is up. FedEx Cup, playoffs, 3 rounds. This is what they debuted last year. Really liked it. It's $7 a lineup or a draft. 150K pot. Definitely will have plenty in that. That is up if you want to look into that. It's a best ball draft. You draft your squad, with others. You get that team for all 3. So you're trying to predict. And this year a little bit better because you're only going to have 70, then 50, then 30 instead of 125. What they do last year, 125, 70, 30, something like that. So a little tougher because you got to figure out the 70, but better odds of getting that 70 down to 30 instead of 125 down to 30. So I do like that this year. 3-putt, it's always up. It's a 30K pot. It's $5 to enter. It's only 24% full right now. So maybe keep an eye on that if you want to throw a little round one best ball lineup in for that 3-putt. That's always good to do. And of course they have their huge NFL best balls up, $15 million pot for the big one. Price picks, I'll have these up every night or morning or however that works out before the next round. But round one, I'm going Brooks under 70, Scheffler over Cam Smith, birdie or better, DJ over Homa, birdie or better, Connors over Bork, birdie or better, Bryson under 70.5, Cam Young under 70.5 for my round 1 6-pack if you want to play those or mix and match them with your own. One and done for me. I'm going DJ, Brooks, Cam Young, and Bryson. Those are kind of my 4 I'm looking at. If you wanted to go down the board, I think my 5th would be Neiman. If you're real behind, he just drives the ball so well. And if he kind of gets hot or gets it going, he could be right there. If you're like way down, you just need a, kind of someone that's going to be 1% owned type deal and really jump up. Neiman would probably be my favorite there. E9 tonight with Kenny Kim per usual. It's going to be a great week. Looking forward to it. Probably, the Masters is always the Masters, but definitely my favorite out of the other 3. We'll talk to you later and see you soon.